Go for it. You for it.
Waiting for this one. Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Oh, it's freaking out.
Uh-oh. What?
Let's just go live.
Don't
Let's
say
just see
that.
what happens. What is up, friends? It is Friday, and we are live officially. I guess we've been live for a minute now, but you know, whatever.
Hey, guys.
Oh, whoops! I need to pull up our list. We have a list of things we want to go over. But anyway, welcome to Friday. Glad you guys could make it. It is May 4th. May the 4th with you. I actually don't really like that joke very much.
Yeah.
I want someone to be like, May the 4th, and then me just be like, yes, that's what day it is.
May 4th.
Yes, that is correct.
Like a local company, Fizz, they're all more like, may the Fizz be with you.
That's dumb also. It's just really dumb.
Marketing is stupid.
Yeah, sometimes it really is very, very dumb. But anyway, so let's get into some sales because we got some good sales going on right now. We'll get that over with. And
right now,
we'll just start talking car stuff. Currently, 25% off auto-styled shift knobs, which is pretty dope. So if you need some shift knobbers for your car.
If you need some good feeling knobs to put in your car.
25% off is pretty legit. StopTech, 20% off using code STOP20. So if you need some proper brakes, you know, it doesn't matter. Like whether you're, you know, a track car or a daily driver, chances are you could always go with better brakes, in my personal opinion. I think brakes are one of those things that's incredibly important. And a lot of people overlook them. And now they're 20% off, so no excuses.
Well, like, it's even funny is that if you have the same compound and you're just like, I don't need to upgrade, and then I guarantee you throw in a new pair of pads, you're going to be like, I should have upgraded a while ago.
It always makes a very big difference. And then White Line, 25% off their springs and roll center adjustment kits and grip series stage 1. Is that what they call it? Grip series stage 1, which includes sway bars, springs, and maybe some bushings, or I don't know. They just design it specific for your car. So it's different for everybody. But if you guys have any questions, please let us know. We're happy to answer anything, whether it's car related, as long as it's somewhat car related. We'll go with that. Ty, welcome. He said he hit 44,444 miles today. That's pretty dope. Alex, good man. How are you? Benjamin, loving my new 6-puck for the Evo 10. Good job, man. That's actually a pretty gnarly. I guess if you didn't go like heavy duty or something, it's still sprung. That's a pretty gnarly clutch.
I can't drive in that. You know that.
No. Alex says tomorrow's my birthday. Happy birthday, man. Glad everybody can join us. So
I'm slowly getting up. Calm down.
Yeah. Just calm yourself. Sean, what's going on? How's it Friday? It is Good Friday. Today is a very good Friday. An update. I've been working on the twin charge WRX. So this car has been neglected for so long. It's just one of those things that gets put on the back burner. Other projects are, you know, kind of taking precedence, and, you know, a lot of things are going on here. And so it just kind of gets put on the back burner. Well, I made it a mission to myself this week to start working on it. And originally I was going to work on it on Monday. Then it got pushed back to Tuesday. Then it got pushed back to Wednesday. And I finally started working on it on Thursday, yesterday. And I did, so basically what I wanted to do is, my main thing is I want to fix the overboosting issue. Because right now, I think what's going on, and this is the thing, I have no idea what truly is happening, but for some reason it's just overboosting completely. Like it just, anyway, way too much boost. So what?
There's such a thing?
So what I theorize is that my boost reference, because basically with a compound setup, we have the turbo, which then feeds pressurized air up into the supercharger, which then pressurizes it even further. Well, my boost reference source to the wastegate on the turbo is between the turbo itself and the supercharger. So it's only taking, so if like the turbo is putting out 7 PSI, it's going to be 7 PSI up until it hits the supercharger. Then the supercharger is going to do its thing and boost that up to whatever it is. I don't know the math on it, but more, right?
More. And that's a good mathematical equation.
Just more boost, right? And so the boost reference that basically, so the turbo thinks it's only putting out 7 PSI, but what's entering into the engine is significantly more. So what I need to do is, well, I just did this like literally just before this Facebook Live, is I hooked up I had to take apart, well, not fully, but take apart part of the supercharger, drill and tap a boost reference barb fitting. And so now we'll have boost reference going from post supercharger going down to the turbo's wastegate. I'm hoping that helps a little bit. I will also probably have to drop the exhaust manifold and turbo and take off the wastegate and swap out springs, or see what I can do to basically lower the turbo's output at wastegate pressure, if that makes sense. So basically, it's just, I'm just trying to keep boost down under control. And hopefully I can do that. I have no idea. So I'm making a video on it. I posted up the first one yesterday, or no, excuse me, this morning, because yesterday I worked all day. I didn't get to work on the WRX as much as I wanted to. I was going to try to get the video edited and out last night. And
it was just way too much.
Yeah, it was too much. I stayed late. I was getting pissed off because I don't really use GoPro time lapses. And so I did, and I was getting pissed off at how long GoPro's program was taking to like basically render the time lapse into a video. And I got most of it done, but I got tired and my brain was dead, so I just left. And I came in this morning, finished it, put it up on YouTube. So please give that one a watch. I'm really trying to change the way we do our videos. Not completely, but just I want to give you guys more of like a, this is what I'm doing, and not so like polished and not so like, oh, look at these cool products we're installing. This is more just like a, let's just dig in and
just kind of like no longer like, hey, we're just going to install this, and 2 seconds later, and now we're done.
Yeah, that's how our videos have always been before. This is, I mean, the parts, because it's a balance between like showing what I'm doing and speed, right? Because no one's gonna watch a 8-hour long video. Well, maybe, I'm sure there are some freaks out there that would. Maybe I have a stalker or something. But so like I'm using a lot of time lapses where Sean says, let's see the video. It's on YouTube. I just put it up this morning. It's on our most recent video. No, seriously though, do me a favor. Like, it would mean so much to me if you guys watched it and let me know, like post in the comments of the video and let me know if there's something that I can do to improve it. Like maybe the transitions are crappy, or maybe I'm talking too much, or maybe you don't want to see the time lapse, or you only want to see a short time lapse and then more actual video of the install, or maybe, I don't know, just whatever, like whatever it might be, or the lighting sucks or the sound sucks. I really
have to take your shirt off.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm just too ugly and you guys just don't want to watch me anymore. But and that's fine too. We can always hire somebody else that may or may not know how to work on a car, and that's cool. But I'm really excited to get the WRX running. Yesterday's was all about like suspension, because I had it up in the air. We ISC sent us some suspension, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to install the suspension right now. So I did. And then today I actually started digging into like this twin charge setup. And again, I came in this morning, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna edit this video and then I'm gonna have most of the day to work on the car. And then that most of the day ends up getting squeezed down to like, oh, you have 3 hours to work on the car. So
yeah,
it's
like since we wear so many hats around here, you're just like, sweet, 8 hours all the time. No, you gotta do that, you gotta do that, you gotta do that. And you're like, what? No, I got like 2 minutes now.
Yeah, and so it's like, so maybe what I'll do, because I was planning on working on it all day today because I'm staying late tonight because our FRS is leaving. Goodbye. It is officially sold, and the transport should be here late tonight, so I'm going to stay late and ensure that it gets on the trailer safely. And then, but my plan is to have, so basically I'm like, okay, I'll work really hard right up until like the Facebook Live. And then maybe I'll just finish up, kind of do my closing video after Facebook Live, and then I'll go edit. And then by the time the truck gets here, so I had 3 things I wanted to do today. I wanted to drill the boost reference. I wanted to get the turbo off, and I wanted to clean up the electrical from the previous air ride suspension or airlift suspension that we had on the car. I got one of those things done. So I might combine, or I might hold off on posting the video tonight and wait till like Monday night or Tuesday morning if I can. Either way, I'm sorry. So, but let me know Whew, that was a lot. This is why I need help, because I think I do this exact same thing in my videos, is I just start rambling, and then what should have been like a 30-second segue into another section turns into like a 3.5-minute segue, and like half the information didn't need to be there.
Well, that's actually good, because people have been asking so many questions about that car. And it's good to have an update about that, because also one thing I have to remind people of that Perrin also did the same thing, Jeff.
Yeah.
And he has no progress either.
Well, so that's the thing. So Perrin did a twin charge. I think he just drives his though. Like, I think he put it on.
And they just left it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going crazy with it. I think he just kind of like, it was just like a fun little project for him. I think that's a dead spider. Anyway.
That's a good sign.
So, but we want to kind of go not nuts with ours, but like ours is a bigger blower. You know, it's definitely a lot larger. We have a larger turbo on there, so we can definitely make a lot more power. So I just want to get boost under control. So if any of you guys know about compound turbo setups or compound anything, any compound setup, maybe DM me on Instagram or on YouTube or something like that, and let me know, and maybe I could like pick your brain or something. Because I mean, I'm not at the point where I'm stumped right now, but I'm still like racking my brain as being like, okay, am I doing this right? Am I even wasting my time by having, I mean, I'm positive I need boost reference post supercharger, but maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just being dumb and like, you know, I don't know. So I'll get it figured out though. So anyway, that's the updates. And then of course the FRS is going bye-bye. Our Focus RS is for sale. A lot of people keep on asking us, why are you guys selling all your cars? Like, what's going on? Honestly, the biggest reason is, one, I need space. Like I'm just surrounded by cars. And so in order for me to like work on one car, I have to move a bunch out, which isn't the end of the world. I know, like, that's a very first world problem, like first world 1%
I have
problem.
too many cars.
Right, I have too many badass cars. But really, it's just I am wearing so many hats now that it's too much for me to, like, I can't work on the cars every day and do all the other things that I have to do. And so by limiting the amount of project cars that we have, I can focus more on that one, as opposed to really like separating myself, because then it's hard to keep up on maintenance. It's hard to like schedule alignments for all the cars. It's just, there's a lot of things that you have to do. And when you have so many of them and you're constantly changing things on all of them, like, things kind of just get put on the back burner and then never get done. And so I want to make sure that we have a, you know, a good, just basically good media on, I'd rather have 1 or 2 cars than 5, right? Because I would rather hyper focus on these 2 cars and be able to pump out good content that's easy to follow along with, rather than like 20 different cars that, you know, like the WRX, one will sit for months and months and months and never get touched. And then all of a sudden we start working on it again and people are like, whose car is this? Like, no one, you know, it's just one of those things. So
one thing real quick I have to bring up, because it kind of feels like it's a repeat situation. So Lee, FA20 DIT aftermarket high pressure fuel pump. Apparently we're waiting on Cobb to write the software to make the work for us. Like, and they're saying that like the owners are dying for an aftermarket high pressure fuel pump. Remember, that's the same thing that happened with Mazda.
With basically all
the Focus.
Yeah, I mean, any car that comes out with direct injection and people start modifying it, obviously the biggest thing you're going to run into is fueling, right? And so you know, I mean, I know Dietrich's is working really hard on making direct injectors for all platforms, which would help. But if your pump doesn't put out enough pressure, then having a larger injector isn't always going to work, right? So, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I just read Walmart internals.
Oh, because like someone was asking if the twin charge WRX engine is
it's on stock. Oh, Mark Dennis. It's still on stock internals right now. Basically, I'm trying to get everything dialed in. Whether we build the engine or not, like that's up in the air, right? So we're not opposed to building the engine. If we can get the car where we want it on stock internals and it's reliable and safe, because we're not looking for big power numbers. I'm looking for a fat torque curve, right? So I want torque from like 1,500 RPMs to redline, basically. So as that, like, you know, as the turbocharger's like struggling, I want that supercharger to be able to just jam in as much air as possible. And then once the turbo kicks in, then it's just like, hallelujah, you know, off to the races. So I'm hoping that between the turbo size we selected, which is a Steam Speed STX 67 Plus, which is a pretty healthy turbo. It's a nice mid-range turbo. I might need to get some water. No, I don't want your stinky water. I have my own right over there. And then between that and the supercharger, we should have a really nice, fat power band. And honestly, it feels fantastic. Other than the overboosting issues, like it's really weird because with that supercharger, you have a lot of parasitic drag, like if you try to how you from a stop sign, you can just like slowly let the clutch out and the car will start moving, right? You don't need to feather the gas. You can't really do that in that car because it's just like, I feel like there's just too much parasitic draw. We have a lightweight flywheel in there and it's just too much. Like it's just not enough rotating mass to keep it, spinning. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
go get your water. No.
Okay. You talk to them.
Go get your water. I'll talk to them, guys. All right. So, oh crap, there's a question that I was going to answer. What's a good horsepower range to get a WRX2 considering it's a daily driver? Usually
350.
350?
350. I don't know.
You almost died. It depends on the WRX. If obviously it's a GD, you're not going to be able to get 320.
Wait, why are you on that chair?
Oh yeah, that's right. Huh.
Dude, so I went out, so everyone complains about chairs. I went out, show your chair.
This chair?
No. Show the new one.
The new one?
Yeah, watch. You guys are going to be so impressed. So I went out and bought new chairs. Same matchy.
Same height.
I don't know why he was on that other one.
Sorry.
I don't go
I'm
out
so
and
used
spend,
to it.
I don't go out and spend good money so you don't use it.
Oh man.
They're not as comfortable though, huh?
Now look at this.
Yeah, now see that.
Now we need to get him a bigger chair.
Yeah. Well, and eventually like we'll just have this race where each one of us will just be taller than each other. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so if you get it's a GD WRX, you're not going to be able to put too much horsepower into it. Maybe about 270, 280 would be a good daily driver for that power.
Yeah.
But the 2015s, I've seen a lot of people hang out around 300, 310, 320, and they've been calling it good.
Yeah.
And it's very basic.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, until you do start getting like, because you basically for fueling. Holy crap. You have two options. You can either wait for bigger injectors and a better high pressure fuel pump, or you can go with auxiliary injectors and find some way to tune it. And that's basically your options there. So I'm trying to talk quieter
I
now
gotta take a
my
picture
throat
of
is
this
really
and
like
post this.
burning. Steven says VQ38 DETT swapped into a 13 GR hatch. Should I do it? Yeah, why not? I mean, it would be a tight fit, but I like the VQs. I think the GTRs sound really good, and I think that inside a Subaru would be actually pretty cool. What are you taking a picture of?
Because of the screen, like Dow is showing this.
Okay, and we are going to talk about the STI giveaway here in just a minute. So hold on to your cute little horses. I like everyone on chat's like blowing us up like, what about the giveaway? What about the giveaway?
There's seriously still people saying that we're like it's a scam, like it was fake.
Well, I can see it now, like because it's we told people, oh, we'll announce it on the 24th.
Yeah. And
then it took longer.
Well, we said the company would draw on the 24th, and then it would take about
true.
We made
that mistake of saying that.
And it's in the rules, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, huh? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Denzel. Sorry, Denzel Vlogs. Hey, that's a cool name. If that's your real name, that's a really cool name. I don't think it is. I think what you're doing here is you're having a little play on words.
You won't drink out of my bottle, but you put my water. God.
I need water. I'm a thirsty boy today. He says equal length headers are unequal length. That's up to you, man. I mean, the performance difference between them is pretty minimal. If you're like trying to, what the hell's wrong with me? If you were trying to squeeze out like every
because you've been working on the car all day today. Oh, what happened? You got the beaties now.
I think I do. If you look how white my skin is, it's funny in this. Anyway, I can't even
see. Here's the thing that's crazy is that you're looking at our YouTube right here. Look how fast that is.
Yeah.
And like the color and everything looks good, but when you go to our
Facebook,
looks like it's a stop animation going on. Like it's just bad.
Oh, at least we're not having sound issues like we always have. Anyway, equal length, unequal length. Just do whatever you like the sound of. I mean, again, unless you're trying to squeeze out like every last bit of power, because technically equal length is more efficient. It's, you know, it's just better. But some people don't like the sound of equal length. I'm one of those people. I mean, there are cars with equal length or Subarus with equal length that I think sound really good, but I just prefer the classic Subaru Rumble. So unless you're trying to squeeze out every last drop of power out of the car, just go unequal length and enjoy your life. Yeah, me personally, I would go unequal length for sure. So one thing I've been thinking about this week, when I drive back and forth from work, I've been thinking about this because I feel like it's just kind of important. I don't know why, and I think I'm kind of preaching to the choir here when I say this. DIY, like because I go on the Facebook forums or I go on like Reddit, and I'm always happy to help. Like I love jumping on, especially Reddit. Like I love jumping on and helping people out, and you know, people are always asking questions. But what's weird is a lot of times people ask questions like, "How hard is it to change my brakes?" Right? How hard is it? Like, that's a really weird question to me, because if someone says, "How do I?" You know, I have a 2013 WRX. How do I change my brakes? Perfect. You can either explain it. You could write out a big long form of how to do it. Probably not a good idea. Or you can link them to a good video that you know of, which is easy and quick. And you can say, hey, watch this video, and you be the judge whether you want to go through with that install. But then they'll often come back and say, yeah, but like, how hard is it? Could I do it?
I don't know your mechanical
I don't
skill
know.
level.
And it doesn't matter. Like, in my opinion, like a mechanical skill. So like, I like learning new skills. I try to learn, you know, like something new, like once a week, right? It's just, I think it's fun. I like challenging myself. And a lot of the projects I get into aren't related to what I've done in the past. You know, it's something completely new. And so, but if I get into it, and I always watch tutorials, I always watch, you know, or I read up on it, or there's something, I've always have some guide, right? So it's like, I'm doing this here and I'm watching how to do it on this side, right? In some way, shape, or form, someone's telling me how to do it and I'm doing it. And I make a lot of mistakes, but I go back and I'm like, okay, now I know what I did wrong, or I'll mess up something, I'll start over from the very beginning. But it's like, if you're okay with doing that, I don't understand why more people don't DIY.
I know.
Like a lot of people do, and I think I do. I'm very grateful that, you know, there's so many good videos out there on how to install your brakes, how to upgrade your intercooler, how to install a downpipe, how to, you know, fix a flat, how to paint your car, whatever. Like,
well, like one of the biggest things I was on Reddit a couple days ago, one of the top stories I saw was someone's all, thank you to DIY videos. All I had to do was change a fuse out in my car and it worked.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, so I'm really thankful for that. But I wish more people would DIY. I feel like the world would be a better place if more people worked on their own stuff. And I think people would also appreciate, especially cars. Like, and again, I'm trying to keep this around cars. I think more people would appreciate what they have and also feel more confident in what, you know, what they bought, I guess, because yes, you can mess it up. Brakes are one of those things where it's kind of important that you have brakes. I mean, it's just so you don't want to mess it up, but it's also one of the easiest things apart from, like, you know, taking off a wheel and putting on your spare tire that you can do. I think brakes are as easy or easier than most oil changes, in my personal opinion. It kind of depends on, you know, obviously the car and stuff like that, but it's incredibly simple. But I wish more people would DIY. And obviously, like, we're big proponents of DIY, but that's not something we really talk about a lot, is, you know, encouraging people to go out and research, do it yourself, ask questions, but don't ask, how hard is it? Ask, how do I do this? You know, someone please point me to a video or some reference that's really good, that's really thorough, that I can watch and I can understand that, like, because now you can freaking have your phone out as you're, like, you know, monkeying on your car, hit pause. You're like, okay, I'll do that. Hit play. Now put in the bolt. Okay, cool. Put in the bolt. Now, you know, rub your belly. Okay, do that. And then it's like, you know, and they tell you all the torque specs. They tell you everything.
And then the ratchet flips and you break your phone.
And that's fine too. But I just wish, yeah, I just kind of wish more people did DIY. And like, I always try to help people out because there are those videos that I've watched that have really helped me. I try to produce good videos. You know, I try to be like, I did like a timing belt video. It was like, pretend you're on the side of the road and, you know, you've got basic tools and you're going to do your timing belt. Cause like most videos that you see are people, you know, the engine's out of the car and everything's clean. And it's like, oh, and everything
Here's
looks
how
so.
to change your timing belt with the engine out of the car.
And they've got all the proper tools. And I'm like, I'm going to change a timing belt with like a screwdriver and some duct tape and we're going to go for it, you know? And like, and it worked. But yeah, I don't know why I kept on thinking that. And I swear, like in my head, I'm like, I'm going to talk about this. And it was a lot more eloquent. Yeah. And I had a lot better points. And I'm sure I've forgotten all of them but like, I think DIY is so important. And I wish I would ask that you guys, like everyone out there, like if someone asks, like, because I feel like that's a new trend is how hard is it to, you know, just be like, it's not a matter of how hard or not it is. Watch this video or read this or, you know, look at this thing, point them in the right direction, and then see, do you think you could do something like that by yourself? You know, and that's basically what it comes down to. Because if someone's like, you know, like if I was working on a house and we're talking like installing gas lines, like high pressure gas lines and stuff like that, I could technically do it, but I know for a fact I'm not going to do that. That is well out, like I'm just not going to mess with it. It's not worth my life. And I'm just going to leave that to a professional. But if someone's like, hey, you know, like how hard is it to install a water softener? I already know because I've seen videos on how to do it. I'm like, I've never once touched a water softener in my life. I know for a fact I could crush it. Yeah. You know, like I know my skill limits. Like, and I know, even though I've never done either of those things, I know gas lines, no. Water softener, yes. I would absolutely do it. I'd still watch a video and I'd probably make a few mistakes along the way. But I know I could do it anyway.
Well, like here's the other thing too, because that actually is, when you're talking about it being a trend, it really is a trend because there's a lot of millennials and everyone who are like want to know how to do things themselves. Because
which is good.
One, they just want to know, and two, they don't want to pay someone else out the butt to do that. Because like when you look into plumbing and all that stuff and how expensive it is now, like I'll look into how to do it myself.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's good, and I think it's good to have more people with skills like that. I mean, you go into your average, you know, mall parking lot, and I guarantee you, you know, 70% of the people, like somebody was saying, everyone should know how to change their tire, change a bulb, change brakes, change oil, right? How many people would you say on average know how to do that? Know how to do, not even all four of those, one, right? That could confidently, like with using minimal references, like maybe they're like, I need to know the torque spec and I need to know, you know, the part number for the oil filter and the size of drain crush gasket I need. Like that's like, and the amount of oil I need. Like that's kind of like, you know, other than that, they know how to change the oil or they know how to change the brakes. You know, they're like, I just need to know the part number for the pad and I'll, you know, and then like whether like the caliper, I have to screw it in to get the piston back in, or I can just squish it in, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was even going with this. I like ranting. It's kind of fun, but I don't know. It's a pleading.
It's a plead.
Yeah, it is more of a plead, isn't it? Yeah. Have any of you guys won the car? I haven't. I haven't either. I mean, the car is.
I didn't win the car. Right there.
Yeah.
I'm not driving it home tonight.
Should we talk about the car?
Just talk about it.
Okay. So.
Don't worry. We'll get a question probably about like.
Right after I say it. Yeah. Brandon says, "Go Jazz." The STI. So we have reached out to a winner.
Yep.
That's it. Not very exciting, right? So we've reached out. We're waiting to hear back. They have 10 days to get back to us, and we want to make a big deal about it. We were hoping that like everything would be all done, so we could be like, "This so-and-so won the car," you know. And it's like everything's finalized. We're ready to rock and roll, and we can with certain say this person won the car. So yeah, we're just waiting for everything to get basically finalized, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I've never done any of these drawings before, like, you know, so I'm sure when we're, you know, explaining it before, we're like, I guess in my mind, I thought like, you know, we would pick the winner and by literally like within 30 minutes, like they'd be like, hey, here's all the paperwork. We're ready to go. Like, I'm okay. I want my freaking. There's a lot that goes into it. And, you know, and I can totally see like, you know, if somebody needs to like look over stuff and be like, okay, what are the implications of this? Because there's obviously like a tax liability, you know, all those type of things that, you know, and so, yeah, we're just waiting. That's all. Hope everybody's doing okay out there in waiting land. So now probably everyone's like checking their voicemail.
Who else is checking their email?
Yeah, probably everyone's checking their email.
That's we told you that. Check it.
Yeah. Hopefully someone didn't give us like a fake email, because that actually has happened. Not obviously not with like a card.
But when we did the raffle.
When we did we had, I think it was last year, we did our big event. We get well over 1,000 people. How many people are there? A few thousand?
Last year we had probably about close to 1,500 to 2,000 people.
Yeah, so
we easily had over 1,000 cars.
We had a ton of people. We did this big raffle because we get not all of the vendors, a bunch of vendors, and they fly, you know, in to be here. And so we have a bunch of really big prizes. Well, somebody thought that they were going to like outsmart the system, and they entered in a bunch of names and a bunch of emails, which was smart because obviously that increases your chances of winning. But then once they came up, I'm like, hey, confirm your email. And
you have 8.
Yeah, and they've got 8. So I'm like, dude, you have a 1 in 8 chance of winning, you know, and like that sucks. So, and he got it wrong. So I told him to go away.
Because I remember that one, like a girl walked up and she goes, well, I put 2 in your all. Well, you have a 50% chance.
Yeah.
And she, like, right as she said the first letter, you're wrong. She goes, but the other one, you go, nope, sorry, wrong.
I like it. I like being able to like tell not scammers, they're not scammers, but
not scammers.
They're just trying to cheat the system. And it's like, hey, if it works, good. Like I wouldn't care if somebody came up and they were like, I entered in 1,000 different email addresses and they picked the right one. I'm like, dude, congratulations.
Your number's in here, like beyond the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Pick which one this was.
Yeah.
I
would not have a problem with it, but to like have somebody do that and then get it wrong, like that just, I don't know why, it just fills me with joy.
You like disappointment and despair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we are doing another event this year. Do you have any details on that?
So it is on June 16th. It's going to be an evening meet starting at 4 p.m.
Ooh, that's going to be so dope.
Be nice.
So 4 p.m. until 9. That's going to be so nice. Because last year it got pretty hot.
Yeah, it started getting a little hot. And it was even at the end of April, which is funny because like remember that morning, like we had hoodies on, but by the time we got midway through the event, we were sweating.
Yeah.
But this event, it's going to be in the middle of June. It's going to be big. Like we have quite a few people. We have the event page on our Facebook. If you want to go there, check it out. We have more details. There's more vendors and food trucks that I need to add. I've been slacking off on that, so I apologize about that. But we have last year we had about 20 vendors there,
something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, and like usually most of the time, every single one of them are giving away huge.
Yeah, and they're like sometimes they're like $1,000.
What are you doing? It's a pop.
Oh,
pops.
I'm gonna break your bottle. Ty has a question for you. Read it.
Ty, how do you be a featured car? So actually, the car show this year is going to be passed off onto someone else. We're finalizing through the details. I may have some say into it. And if I want your car in there, I'll contact you.
Okay. Denzel, he says, when is it a good time to get forged internals? Honestly, anytime. We did Manly pistons in our STI, and dude, like people complain about cold starts with forged pistons, like being rattly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the composition of the materials in the Manly pistons, but they're quiet. I haven't experienced any oil burning, nothing like that. They're just solid pistons. So I'm a huge fan, actually. Like I think we've run Cosworth before.
Yeah.
I've tried in other cars. I've tried like JE, I think CP.
CP. Yeah, I've tried CP. Wisco.
I used to run dirt bike Wiseco pistons. That was like my jam in my dirt bike. So, I mean, it's not like I build every motor in every single one of my cars, but I have dealt with built motors before in the past, and some are noisy and some are quiet. And I was really happy to announce that the Manleys, because I've never run the Manly pistons, they're quiet. And I know it has to do with piston to wall clearance and stuff like that. But so get a good machine shop, and but the Manleys are phenomenal pistons.
I'd rather overbuild than
I would rather overbuild, because the stock pistons are just, and so
that's Walmart internals.
Yeah, Walmart internals. Yeah, and they're known for going kaput. So going with upgraded pistons at any time is always going to be a good thing. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's get into what we're going to do. Okay, you do one.
All right, so actually, let's go through the question that we had last week from Caden. We know Caden. He's a good guy. He's your best friend. What car parts / brands do you wish still existed?
Oh, I can tell you exactly right now. Oh, shit.
And how you
JIC Magic Spartan DE Type 2 Titanium. I'm going to show you on the Googles. Okay, your turn.
The Googles? Brand they wish. I know ARC is still around, but I wish they'd make more parts, bring the price back down. Because they're astronomical. Like, if you don't know who ARC is, like I've seen on local groups, people are like, there's no way that stock box looking intake goes for $400. No, it does go. It's ARC.
Yeah.
Like, ARC is huge.
Yeah, ARC, but like ARC has kind of come back, but they don't make the same. I don't think they make the same stuff that they used to. Of course, I'm having a hard time finding. There used to be a picture.
Even Randy said ARC, so prices come down.
Let me see if I can switch over real quick. I can't remember which hotkey it is. Maybe that one?
Maybe.
We're going to find out.
See.
Oh, that's definitely it. Okay, so this is the, I don't know if you pronounce it JIC Magic or JIC Magic, but this is a Spartan DE Type 2. It's honestly one of my favorite exhausts I've ever, I used to have it on an old swapped Impreza. I thought the sound was perfect. I thought the look was perfect. And not very many people are making, you know, oval mufflers with like a nice, stubby, beautiful tip like that. I just think it's one of the most like prettiest exhausts. And it's very simple. And like I was too poor to afford the titanium version, but they do one like this one right there. So anyway, that's what I wish would come back. What do you guys do? Like, is there anything out there that like you guys are like, dang it, like I missed out on that opportunity to buy that and I should have because I want one super, super, super bad. The GC era all the way up to GD, because I think they stopped a lot of stuff in GR.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anything in GR.
The catbacks, like you could get the dopest stuff from Genome.
Yep.
And I love the name, like even Genome, like I don't even know what that means. Like I don't even care. Just the fact that it like has a little stamp on there that says Genome, and it's always like, dude, even like, cause I'm not a huge fan of like canister style mufflers. There are a few that I really like, but STI Genome exhaust, they had one that was a canister style.
Yep.
And I'm like, that is the sexiest exhaust. And it might be because I am biased. There is a good possibility. The only reason I like that is because it's got freaking.
There's a manufacturer backed, like, and branded, sold.
Yes, and it's an
part.
axle back, and it was like $900. I remember back in the day.
It's the same thing with like Mugen. You look at Mugen parts, you're like, I want that. Same with
Travis.
TRD.
Oh yeah, Mugen was awesome. Travis says all GC parts there fading fast. What do you want, Travis? Tell me what you want. Tell me what you really, really want.
Well, like one thing, perfect example, Randy's talking right there, like his Trust exhaust.
Oh, Trust, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but please probably talk about like Zero Sports makes real
Zero
cool
Sports
stuff.
is cool. Provo was cool. I think Prova's still Prova stuff.
Still around. We still
Sims. Remember Sims? Let's see if Sims is still around.
What about Mines?
Mines is still around.
Is Mines still around?
Sims. What would it be? Racing. You guys ever just like look at? Look at this.
It's funny. So when you do that hotkey, it only does it to Facebook and not YouTube.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, YouTube. You guys can't see anything. That's really weird because it's pulling off.
Just close your eyes and use your imagination.
Yeah, use your imagination. Look up Sims Racing and you'll see what we're
The banner's
talking about.
green with black banners.
Let's see if they have any old school. No. Oh, that's a really crappy website. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm gonna look up GC stuff because I can.
See, this is what I also love about Japanese websites is that they actually list it by the body chassis instead of like the year.
Oh, GCGF. Okay, Travis, I'm gonna get you a exhaust system. How dope that stuff is, though. I remember coming to this website when I was younger, and they had a bunch of cool stuff. I love the Japanese, like pure Japanese catalysts because they're like they're not like the smooth, like all like the other import ones and American-made ones. They're like that smooth. Like vibrant style catalyst. I really like the welded on end caps. I think they're really cool.
Looks like a submarine sandwich, like
I just think they're really neat. I like Japanese stuff. Ever thought of owning any of the Evo series? We've had Evos here before.
Devin on here. I wanted some Hippo Sleek stuff for that legacy wagon I bought from you, Rick.
Dang, the Hippo Sleek, man. That was like Hippo Sleek. I wasn't big into Hippo Sleek, but they had some really cool stuff. I will say one thing. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Okay, you guys want to know how much of a racer I was? So let's see. How long ago when I was 20 or just out of high school? So I'd been 19. How many years
18,
ago was 19.
that? 15 years. 03.
15 years. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how much of a racer I am. I wanted this. Whoops. So bad. I wanted it because I had a little swap GC, and I wanted this charge speed wide body kit with this giant Pikachu wing more
That's a great
than
way to
anything.
describe that.
Like doesn't it just look like very animated? Like it's almost kind of ridiculous.
Well, that was also kind of like the style was back then for the Japanese vehicles.
Oh my gosh, I wanted that so bad. I still want that just for the nostalgia, even though it really is like and I love that big charge speed rear wing. There was a kid here locally that had one of those, and that I thought, oh, so dope. Like I still really like charge speed. Hippo Sleek has some I'll show you guys Hippo Sleek. Hippo Sleek has some pretty interesting stuff. I think I'm spelling that right. Hippo Sleek. Yeah. Look at it. But just interesting stuff. Like remember the Tommy Kaira for the GC? Like how horrible that was. I don't even know how to spell it.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Y. Tommy.
No, it's not. But okay.
Then Kai, Kai. There we go. See, it was right there.
Where?
Right there, down there.
Right there?
Yeah.
Tommy Kairara PC8.
I want one of their turtle shift knobs.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that ugliness right there. That reminds me of the remember the STI Electra?
No, hell.
Oh, are we just going down?
Let's just go down the hole. This is fine. We're alienating these YouTube people, but that's fine.
Electra?
Since the connection's fine here, you guys can open up another tab and look it up.
Electra? What guys, help me out here. What am I looking at?
No, or is it the Elegant?
No. It's called the STI Electra. Oh, there it is. Whoa.
Oh, God, yeah.
Look how ugly that thing is. You could buy this, and it says 22B. This is not a 22B, just to let you guys know. You could buy this from the factory. And it was called the STI Electra. Why can't I see any more pictures of it? That thing is ugly as sin. And the picture, look at the front bumper. The pictures don't even do justice how ugly that thing is. Granted, I've never seen it in real life, but
that also shows how limited the body panel designs were in the 90s.
What do you mean? That thing was dope.
Just flat faced.
He really is. It looks like
Jay Leno chin everywhere.
It looks like a body kit I made at home.
That was probably made at home.
Travis says he wants some single port headers. Hey, buddy, me too. Welcome to the club. Hey, tell you what, Travis, you buy me some single port headers and.
Well, Randy was saying Inferno Fab makes some pretty good single port headers for the GC.
Oh, I did not know that. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's.
Mike Phillips. It's pretty to somebody.
No. Maybe a blind person.
The Helen Keller.
Yeah.
Soon. So anyways, Subaru admitted to false emissions and economy ratings this week. And mysteriously, the machines that do all the emissions and stuff like that, they say, it can go all the way back to 2002, but we have nothing past 2012. So, and here's the thing, it's big, it's good they admitted to it. They said it only happened to 900 cars, and it was the employee's fault.
It's always
the employee's fault. But what does that mean? Because you got to see how much crap that Volkswagen got, and there was no confirmation whether the cars that had the falsified emissions came here or not.
I'll tell you what it means. It means that next year I'm getting a 2019 STI for $22,000, brand new, because I want what happened to Volkswagen to happen to Subaru just for a year. Just for a little bit of time. I don't want Subaru to go under. I don't want
maybe they'll buy back your wife's Saab just because they don't know. So there's here brand new retail.
I would keep it. But like, you know, like you could go, there was I guess not a short period. There's like a long period of time. You could go down to Volkswagen and get like a brand new Jetta for like $13,000 or something ridiculous because they were really trying hard to like.
Well, they still are right now. And like, that's actually one thing I'd have to say that I appreciate with Volkswagen is they still have the old school mentality to where if you want a car that has manual windows, manual locks, manual mirrors, no heater, air conditioning, you can get it for like 11 grand.
Dang, I need to go get a new car. What are some things that we do too often to cars that aren't necessary?
Oil changes.
I would say that. I really don't think a normal car does not need an oil change every 3,000 miles.
Well, especially with the new specs and how everything is built. Like, yeah, there's going to be people that are going to come in and be the purest, but like I do it like every like 5 miles and like make sure my oil filter is just tight, just enough. Like, it's not necessary unless you're actually beating the hell out of the car.
I'll tell you what you can do. Drive for 3,000 miles. If you want to be really anal about it, take an oil sample, send it out to Blackstone, have them analyze it, and they'll tell you whether you need to change it. Wait 4,000 or 5,000. Do the same thing. Send it out. I think it's like $30 or something for the analysis report.
And it also gives you a good idea on the health of your engine.
Yeah, and then send it out, have them analyze it, and then you can determine what's okay for your car or not. Because if you, like, let's say you went 7,000 miles and you sent it off to Blackstone and they're like, dude, everything is fine.
Yeah.
And you've been changing your oil every 3,000 miles, you're gonna feel like a dope.
Because then even at that point at 7,000, you don't have to change it.
You wouldn't technically. I mean, at some point you're gonna have to change it, but you know, you make that decision instead of Jiffy Lube telling you when you should change your oil. Eat that, Jiffy Lube. I used to work at Jiffy Lube. I hated it.
It was horrible.
My boss was like, "Hey, can you basically they didn't directly ask me to lie to people." But they were always like, hey, go ask this person if they want a new air filter, you know? And I'm like, do they need it? And he's like, well, it's never a bad idea. So it was kind of like that. Like I've heard some Jiffy Lubes are really, or some like oil change places, not to call it Jiffy Lube directly, but some are really bad. And ours was like middle ground, you know, they wanted you to be pushy, but like if, you know, they're not going to lie. So that was, I guess, nice.
So the one I worked at, they actually would like the air filter, you know, that whole crap that would go on. They grab the air filter and they would like go and drop it into the dirtiest part of the shop. They'd heap a pile of dust and hold it up and pick it up. And it's just like, oh, you need to change your air filter. And she's like, I did that 3,000 miles ago when I came here last time.
Oh, dude, Ty's like DIY idea for Rick.
I already have a video idea for this.
How to install a dimple drain plug. Dude, don't. Okay, I've been cursing those because I'm always like, here's my dumbass mentality, right? So if you guys don't know, Dimple makes these drain plugs with like, I don't even know. It's like must be like depleted uranium magnetism or something. Like the magnet is so strong.
You could sit across a parking lot and pull a car towards
you. No, you really could. Like you can, it's just, okay, let's just say it's one of the strongest, smallest magnets I've ever had. It is like a fight because you're trying to get it in the hole and it goes dunk. And then you dunk. You basically have to use both hands and just kind of ram it home, and then keep pressure on the drain plug when it's in the hole and spin, and you basically have to dislocate your wrist to get one full rotation in there so that it doesn't pop out and stick to the side of the pan again. So,
I got an idea for you.
Okay.
Get an oil funnel, cut it so that the circle is perfect to where your plug is, and just
slide it home.
Yeah. No,
that's not a bad idea.
Oh, so Fumoto and call it a day.
Yeah, I've been actually really interested in the Fumotos. I really want one on all my personal cars. When they first came out, I was really, really, really skeptical about them not leaking, about, you know, just the safety issues. I think everybody, and there are people out there who still are, which I understand, but it's like, dude, they've been in business for so long now. I've known many, many, many people who have run them forever and never had a single problem. A few of the guys here run them. They love them. So I'm really seriously considering the Fumoto.
And anytime I post it, that's usually one of the more debated threads that pop up in the comment section. Because there's people who are like, I've done it for like 15 years.
Never had an issue.
There's other people who are like, I had an issue. It's like,
and yeah, well, hell, you can have an issue with a factory drain plug. I mean, that's just nothing is without
fault.
Yeah, nothing can be perfect, right? But those Fumotos, they're pretty dope. And they say made in Japan on them, so I'm a fan. Anyway, okay, let's call this one. My throat is like dead.
I can tell.
Yeah. Okay. Rick, did you ever source a driveline? Oh yeah, I told you guys that my driveline was going bad. I did. I actually got like a brand new used OEM drive shaft, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Had like 100 miles on it, right?
Had like 70 miles on it.
Jeez.
And I got it for a few $100. So I probably spent too much money, but I just like OEM. I also fixed up the front end of my car. Maybe I should post a picture on Instagram, but no one would care. But like I did.
People want to know what you drive.
I did. So I was missing a badge. I was missing the front passengers drive. I don't know, some side turn signal and fog light cover. And I got new ones of those. So, all right. Anyway.
Oh, we just lost connection.
Okay. Bye. Forever?
On YouTube. Oh no, it may happen on
Facebook.
Well, look at that.
I look like an angel. I'm like very angelic.
All right, we'll wrap it up because it's probably there we go. Okay. All right, guys.
Bye.
Hey, bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh, it was OBS actually that did that.